Hello, listen guys, we're back with another episode of When She Longer Wants to Cook For You. Here's what you do. And you recognize this man to the left of me, Larry. He was on the show before and he made that amazing Sunday sauce. Listen people, I don't even know how he tops that, but we're going to talk to him. We're going to find out what he's thinking. Larry, welcome back to the show, my brother.
Thank you for having me, man.
Thank you for being on. Listen.
Time well overdue. So.
It was like this time last year, right?
The whole year.
Yeah. Listen, I see a whole lot of stuff in front of me.
Yes.
How the heck are you going to top this Sunday sauce, man?
Today we're going international. We're going to South America. We're going with a little Ecuadorian cuisine.
Wow. Okay. Listen, people, grab your passports and you're going to take this journey with us. Larry's about to throw down again. When She No Longer Wants to Cook For You, Larry, Brooklyn. You're from Brooklyn, right?
Yes, I am.
I'm from Brooklyn too. Brooklyn.
Let's go
Larry's
Knicks.
Oh, God. We doing that now, man. I'm already antsy. Larry's going to show us what to do, people. Welcome him back, and we'll be right back.
So today we're going with a little Ecuadorian cuisine. I want to educate y'all on, for those who don't know. I feel like this is a cuisine that is not as recognized as it should be. So I'm making two dishes today. So I'm making tonga manavita. I'll explain to y'all in a little bit what it is. And I'm making empanada de verde, which is empanadas made from green plantains. So the tonga manavita is basically it's a stewed meat, whether it's chicken, it could be fish, it could be beef, it could be pork. Stewed, served over white rice with a peanut sauce over the top, goes with fried plantains, and is wrapped in a banana leaf, which traditionally it gets steamed over a wood stove, but we don't got that here, so we putting it in the oven. But we still gonna get that flavor infused from the banana leaf and everything. So there's a little history behind this. So this dish comes from the province of Manabí, which is the coast of Ecuador, which is known for having the best food in all of Ecuador. So in the old days, we didn't have Tupperware. Tupperware didn't exist. So what the women would do when the men would go off to work, they would wrap their food in a banana leaf, in a plantain leaf, so they would be able to take their food with them on the go as they went to work. And they would just unwrap it and they would eat out of there. So that's the history behind that. And then the empanada de verde, the green plantain empanadas, is also from that region, from that province in Ecuador. It's traditional. So they're empanadas made out of green plantains. So we don't use any flour, any eggs or nothing. What we do is we peel and boil the green plantains until they get soft. Traditionally they're rolled out with a rolling pin, but I'm using a food processor today. And it gets kneaded into it with its own starch that the green plantains provide. It gets into like a doughy consistency, and you roll it out and you make this and you do whatever filling you want to fill it with, whether it's cheese, shrimp, beef, chicken, whatever you want. Today I'm gonna be doing them with beef and shrimp. Right here I got this hen that we're gonna be stewing for the tonga manavita. I went to the live poultry for this. This ain't Purdue. I ain't get this at the supermarket. I went to the live poultry and I got this fresh. The steak, it's called a top sirloin cap, which is picanha in Spanish. Is a traditional cut from Brazilians like to use it in like Brazilian like steakhouses and stuff. And then the shrimp is from Ecuador too. If you go to the supermarket and you buy shrimp, if you pay attention, and it'll tell you like It's a lot of shrimp comes from Ecuador. They're the biggest shrimp distributors in the world. Like the best shrimp comes from Ecuador. Like a lot of good, bananas. Like a lot of bananas come from Ecuador. You know, the best chocolate comes from Ecuador. Like so y'all better give Ecuador their props. So today I'm gonna introduce y'all to something different. And a different cuisine. We'll be right back. All right, we back. So I'm gonna walk y'all through real quick on the different spices we're gonna be using today. Of course, we got this regular salt and pepper. We got some homemade sofrito. We got cumin. We got, this is called ají para seco. It's like a Ecuadorian chili powder. It just gives the food like a nice flavor and a distinctive color. It's not spicy at all. We got some Maggi cubes here. We got some dry oregano from Dominican Republic. We got some peanut paste that we're gonna be using for the peanut sauce that goes on the tonga manavita. And we got some shrimp stock that we're gonna be adding to the shrimp when we make the filling for the empanadas. All right, we'll be right back. All right, so I'm gonna walk y'all through the different types of vegetables we're gonna be using today to make our stew and the filling for the empanadas. So we got green peppers, we got some tomatoes, we got leeks, we got wild oregano or Cuban oregano, whatever you want to call it. In Spanish it's called oregano brujo. We got fresh garlic, we got red onions, we got wild cilantro, or in Spanish cilantro macho. We got some long leaf cilantro also. In Spanish they call it recao, or some countries call it culantro. In Ecuador they call it cilantro de pozo, and the Trinis call it shadow beni. So that's basically what it is. We got these this fruit. This fruit is from Ecuador, so it's called naranjilla, or in Colombia they call it lulo. It's gonna give our stew a nice acidity. We have these wine train tomatoes, or in Spanish in Ecuador they called tomate de árbol. We're gonna make a nice hot sauce with that for the food. And these are spicy pepper from Peru. It's called ají rocoto, which is gonna be the base for our hot sauce. We got imported beer from Ecuador that we're gonna be adding to the stew also. And of course we have annatto seed oil that we're gonna be cooking with. If you Spanish, to everyone, this is called achote. And that's pretty much it. That's all we need. All right, we'll be right back. All right, so I'm gonna start off cutting everything. My vegetables, my onions, my peppers, so I can have everything ready so we can head to the stove and start making this delicious stew. I like to have everything ready before I start cooking because it's better that way. We don't want to be cutting up nothing while we got stuff on the stove, and then we don't want to take our eye off of anything, and then God forbid something burns, then we got to start from scratch. So I'm gonna dice up these red onions like real small, so they could sweat when I stir fry everything, when I saute everything. Traditionally, you could either dice this up or you could blend it all up. But throw it in the blender and then saute it in the pot. But I want to do everything like traditional, and just guide y'all step by step. So I want to dice everything up, all my mise en place. So I finished cutting up my red onions. Now I'm gonna start cutting up my leeks. These onions making me cry. But yeah, so a little bit about me, like if y'all don't know, I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican, but I was adopted and raised by Ecuadorian parents. So this is sort of like what I'm doing today is sort of an homage, to the cuisine and the culture, and something that I would like for it to be recognized, because a lot of people don't know much about Ecuadorian cuisine. If you go to like certain parts of like Brooklyn, especially like Bushwick, like by Knickerbocker, there's a larger Ecuadorian population there. They have like a couple of Ecuadorian restaurants there. There's a lot in Queens too, Corona, Flushing over there. big population of Ecuadorian people too.
So
Certain
is
parts
it
of the
easy
Bronx.
to get the products from Ecuador?
Yeah, they have different shops, in Brooklyn or in Queens. They have a lot of shops like Ecuadorian grocery stores that you can buy Ecuadorian products. Even Food Bazaar, you don't even gotta go far. You can go to Food Bazaar. They have like a big international aisle where they sell products from different parts of the world, from all over Latin America.
So what do you like best about Ecuadorian cuisine?
Just different types of flavors, and I love that each region of Ecuador has like their own typical dish. So I love that about it. Like if you go to the coast, they eat a lot of seafood, because they right by the sea, by the ocean, so they eat a lot of seafood. If you go more to like the countryside, they eat a lot of meat and corn and potatoes and root vegetables. They eat a lot of plantains, a lot of cassava.
Well, don't forget to talk about the substitution for the peanut butter. If people have like peanut allergies, what are some?
Yeah, because the
Options.
cuisines use a
So
lot of peanut butter.
a lot of Ecuadorian dishes use a lot of peanut product in their food. It comes from the African influence. So.
Okay.
And I know a nut allergy could be very serious, but you can always substitute. Like you can make a sauce out of like chickpea or sunflower seeds. You can use tahini as well, which will give you that same texture or close to that flavor. Yeah, I figured I'd make this dish today. It'll be something different for the show and to open up people's eyes, introducing them to a different cuisine, something international, something different that hasn't been done before. So that's why I want to do this today.
So what inspired you with this particular dishes? Because it's 2 dishes.
Yeah.
So what does the tonga remind you of?
So the tonga just reminds me of the countryside and the traditional way that the women cook in the campo, in the countryside, over the wood fire stoves. And the fact that they would use banana leaves to pack the men's food to take it to them to work I just think that is crazy. It's amazing. The fact that back then, people didn't have Tupperware, so for them to think of that, they had to improvise. For them, let's wrap it in a banana leaf. So it's like a little lunchbox for them to take their food in. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I think that's so cool. Yeah. And then like I mentioned before, I grew up in the culture, and it's nostalgic for me. It reminds me of my mother in the kitchen, and different dishes that she would make.
And I see you have a lot of different vegetables, so that gives it a lot of different colors, a lot of different flavors. There's a lot of different textures in the food.
Definitely, I want y'all to taste everything, from the peppers, the onions, the cilantro, the oregano, the cumin, give y'all a little flavor of what I grew up eating. Introduce, people's palates to something different. Something they've never tried before.
So now the empanadas you mentioned earlier that you're going to use the plantain itself, no additives, meaning no flour, starch, or eggs or anything. So the own plantain is going to do its own thing.
Yes, everything's natural. We're not using any flour, any eggs. The plantain starch itself, the starch that the green plantain has, is gonna knead itself into a doughy consistency, and we're gonna roll them out into empanadas. Yeah. That's the way they do it in Ecuador. And then when you fry it, it gets crispy because it's almost like a fried plantain. And then with the flavors from the filling, from the shrimp and the beef, it's gonna be insane.
I'm interested in seeing this peanut sauce because I know
Yeah.
see
A lot of people
anything
could
with
be
peanut
iffy.
butter, they'll
Yes.
think it's a little awkward.
Yeah,
or
a lot of
whatever,
people
but
be
I've had
iffy.
other Ecuadorian dishes where peanut butter's been introduced and can
Taste it all together.
taste a very faint taste of it, but for the majority of the part, you usually taste all the other seasonings. So I'm interested to see what this sauce is going to taste
The
like.
peanut also is also.
And we back. Alright, so I finished cutting up all my veggies. I just got done doing my peppers, my onions, my leeks, my cilantro. Now I'm go ahead and mash up my garlic. So I'm using a mortar pestle. It brings out those oils and the essence that the garlic has. So it's gonna give our dish a nice flavor. So in Latin America, you know, whether it's in the Caribbean or wherever you're from, you might know this as a pilon. It's traditionally made out of wood. This one's made out of marble. In Mexico or certain parts of South America, they call it a molcajete. So this is basically used to like mash up garlic or any like herbs that you're gonna use during cooking. So I'm dropping my garlic in here. I'm hitting with some oregano, with some dry oregano. And some salt. The salt is gonna help, you know, mash it up easier and release those oils. So this is you just mash it, like basically mashing the garlic into like a pasty consistency, almost a garlic paste.
And this garlic paste is going to be used in what exactly?
It's gonna be used in the chicken, in the beef, and the shrimp. So I'm using it in all three. Yeah, so basically everything that I cut up, it was basically a sofrito that we did. You know, traditionally that's the way that it's originally done. But you can also put it in a blender and blend it all up. And
So growing up, I remember my grandmother having it mostly just cut up and not blended down. And it just gave it more of a fresh flavor to the food.
yeah, you want that, you know, you want that freshness, you know, that texture, that flavor to the dish.
It's just easier to blend it down.
It's way easier, less,
Way easier. It still gives
way
it
less more
great
knife
flavor.
work. It does.
It's just spices, right?
Yeah.
So what does a sofrito consist of? For those that might not know.
And, well, in Jamaica they call it green seasoning. The Haitians call it epis. Every country has their own way of like making sofrito. I know, like in Spain, if you go to Spain, or even in Ecuador, they call it a refrito instead of a sofrito. Like,
Right.
but it's basically the same thing. It consists of, you know, onions, peppers, cilantro, garlic, all diced up, all blended up together. It's basically, it's a cooking base, basically. That's all it is. It's a cooking base to whatever dish you're getting ready to prepare. And we're back. All right, Mark. So as I showed y'all before, we finished cutting up our vegetables. Now we're gonna sear our chicken. So I got my Dutch oven on high heat. I'm putting in my oil. I'm gonna put a generous amount just to coat the bottom, you know. And you wanna let that get real hot. So here's my chicken. This is hen, so basically it's fowl. You know, it's a female chicken. We're not cooking them crazy out of the ordinary, nothing. It's chicken. It's just a female chicken, so the meat's a little tougher. So it's better if you eat it, you know, cooked or braised, you know, like in a stew. So the meat could be nice and tender. You know, so, you know, it's like all females. They can be a little tough, so you want to know how to work your way around them. You know what I'm saying? So basically, that's all it is. It's chicken. It's just a female chicken. In Spanish, they call it gallina. You know, so that's basically what I'm making it. Gallina guisa. So I'm just letting my Dutch oven get real hot. I love Dutch ovens because they absorb a lot of heat. So you can go nice high temp and you can get a nice sear on whatever meat you're making, whatever braise or stew that you want to prepare. So once I get this nice and hot, I'm gonna start dropping my pieces, you know, a few at a time. You don't want to overcrowd your pot because you want to keep that heat, you know, like we did last time with the Sunday sauce. So we're gonna get a nice sear on the bottom of the pot, so you know we get that fond on the bottom, so we get that nice flavor in our stew. So you don't want to start dropping your chicken or meat, whatever protein you're preparing, until you see like that Dutch oven get smoky. So, you know. And remember, you don't want to keep your heat on high. You want to play with it. You want to go high and low, so we don't burn nothing, you know. So I got my oil in there, you know, it's nice and coated. So I'm gonna start dropping in my pieces. That's what you want to hear, you know. You want to hear that sizzle. So I'm going in a few pieces at a time, you know, a few pieces at a time. Like I said, we got this chicken from the live poultry. Like this wasn't from the supermarket. So we got everything from chicken backs to chicken feet to even the giblets, you know, like to the gizzards. Like we got everything in here. So I'm going in a few pieces at a time, just not to overcrowd my pot. You know, just to get a nice sear on everything. Back a little bit. This is gonna give us a nice found on the bottom. This is a few minutes on each side, and then we'll flip. Give it a little more on that side. It's not ready to flip yet.
So this is a whole hen.
A whole hen, yeah. Two actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You can make anything. You can make soup with this.
Okay.
You know, you can make a nice stew with it. You know. Like I said, the meat's a little tougher, so you wanna let it, you know, stew on a nice low flame.
Gotcha.
To get that meat nice and tender, you know.
Gotcha.
But I did brine this chicken in the fridge for like 2 days. I brined it in like citrus and garlic and some aromatics, some herbs. Put this piece up. So this ain't cooked all the way. We're just searing it, and then we're gonna drop it back in. You know? Oh, gotta be really careful.
That grease is angry.
Yeah. So I finished searing off all my chicken. Now we'll go in and sweat out my vegetables. So I'm gonna just pour in a little annatto seed oil in the pot. This is just to give the food some color. You know? I'm gonna take that high. We got a nice fond on the bottom of the pot from when we seared off our chicken. That's gonna give our stew a lot of flavor. You don't wanna get rid of none of that right there. So I'm gonna go in first with my onions. Going with about half, about right there. Turn the heat down a little bit. Right there. That's good. Onions. Going with some of these green onions right here, about half. Right there is good. Yeah. I'm going with my peppers. I'm gonna drop the peppers in there. About half to. You know. Oh man, now we're really gonna get those aromas from all these vegetables. I'm just gonna salt this a little bit so it can help the vegetables sweat. Nothing crazy. No. We taste as we go. We need to adjust anything. Just let that sweat. So we just wanna, sweat these till they're nice and translucent and soft. And then we're gonna deglaze with some beer. We're gonna get all those bits from the bottom of the pot. Wish I were here. This smells amazing. Like, it smells so good.
Really does.
And like I said, if y'all don't want to chop all these vegetables up, y'all can always throw it in the blender and saute it like that. If y'all want to save the knife work. Yeah, whenever you're making like a stew or braise, you always want to sear your meat first. You know, you get so much flavor.
Gotcha. That chicken has the whole place smelling wonderful. And
We got the garlic that we mashed up, you know, with the oregano. We're gonna drop that in there. Once these vegetables nice and soft and translucent, I'm gonna go ahead and drop my garlic. You just want to do the garlic last, cause you know you don't wanna burn it.
gotcha. That's about to take the whole place into another level of great smellness.
And we're back. All right, y'all. So my vegetables are nice and soft and translucent. This is how you want them. This is how you want them to look. So now I'm gonna go ahead and drop my garlic in, the paste that we made earlier in the mortar tussle. I'm going with about like half of this. You always want to do your garlic last because you don't want it to burn. So I'm gonna drop that in there. About right there. That's a good amount. And I'm gonna drop in my cilantro, my long leaf cilantro.
This way you better can't smell any better. Garlic and cilantro gets dropped in.
All right. And let that go for like about a minute, just so the garlic could release those flavors. And then we go ahead and deglaze with the beer. Wow, this smells amazing. Wow. Well, before we glaze with the gear, so we wanna here have some cumin, which is very typical in a lot of, they use cumin a lot in Ecuadorian dishes. I'm gonna drop some cumin in there. Like that. I got some Maggi cubes that I'm gonna drop in here. All right. Let's saute that up. And some black. I'm gonna hit it with some black pepper too.
Damn, that smells. What is that smell? That smells good as heck.
And I'm gonna go ahead and deglaze with my beer. So this is beer imported from Ecuador. This ain't just any ordinary beer. So the whole beer goes in there. And then, you know, we're gonna cook down that alcohol. We're gonna scrape up all that foam from the bottom. We're gonna let that go.
Wow.
Scrape up all the little bits on the bottom, and then we're gonna let that go. And we're back. All right, y'all. So I got the vegetables, you know, sweated off. You know, sofrito, garlic, onions, cilantro, everything going. Smells so good. I wish I was here to see this. Got the garlic in there, the oregano, the spices. Now I'll deglaze it down with some beer. I'm letting it just reduce, just to cook the alcohol off. Now I'm gonna cut up some tomatoes. So we're gonna use this as a base, as a sauce to add to our stews. So I'm just gonna quarter these and drop them in the blender. I'm just quartering these. I'm using like about 4 tomatoes. Also the lulo that I showed y'all earlier, this is gonna give the stew a nice acidity. So I'm dropping that in there. And I'm going in with another beer. So I'm gonna blend that up with this with a beer. And I'm gonna add some of that Ecuadorian chili powder that I mentioned to y'all earlier. Drop some of that in there. There we go. And then we're gonna blend all that up. Like that. There we go. Put the top on, we lock it. we got that blended up, I'm gonna go with it and pass it through a strainer so you don't get none of the seeds or nothing from the tomatoes and the fruit. Oh man, it smells so good. Take the blade out. And we just go ahead and sift this through a strainer. Right into this bowl right here. A little at a time, you know. We don't want the skin or the seeds from the fruit or the tomatoes in there, you know. We just want the puree. A little at a time, you know. So I'm just passing this through the strainer. We just want the puree and the liquid. We don't want the seeds or the skin or nothing. Once I'm done passing this to the strainer, I'm gonna go ahead and drop my chicken back in the pot. And then we're gonna add this puree that we did. And then we're gonna add some water and just let that go low and slow on the stove. And we'll be back. All right, so my alcohol has cooked down. I'm gonna go ahead and drop my chicken back in. There we go. Drop my pieces in. That goes back in the pot for our stew. That goes in there. Nothing goes to waste. Nothing goes to waste. Everything in there, even these drippings. That's flavor right there. We don't get rid of none of that.
I hear you.
So I'm dropping my chicken in there. All of this goes in. All that juice, that's flavor right there. You know, we don't want to let none of this go to waste. That's all flavor right there. Look at that, that's all flavor right there. Drop all them drippings in there from when we seed off the chicken. There we go, we got that. All right, drop that in there. I'm gonna go in with the tomato and lulo puree that we did in the blender with the beer and the Ecuadorian chili powder. We're gonna drop that in there. I'm gonna go high because I want to bring this to a boil. Drop this in there. Oh man, this is gonna be crazy. There we go, drop that in there. In the corner, I got a pot heating up some water. I'm gonna add that to the stew, so we could get it boiling faster. Once I bring it up to a boil, I'm gonna make a bouquet garni, with some herbs, aromatics, some more of the long leaf cilantro, the wild cilantro, a few stems of celery, and we're gonna let that just simmer in the pot. So we got that going. I got this on high heat. Oh. I got my wild oregano. Break all that up. So we can release those oils in there. It's gonna give this a nice flavor. That's what we're doing here. We're building flavors, step by step. Got the wild oregano in there. I wish I was here to smell this. This smells amazing. All right, y'all. So my stew's almost at a boil. We added the lulo. We added the second beer. the Ecuadorian chili powder, and with the blend with the tomatoes, we blended all that up. We strained it and passed it through. We added in there. Now I have a bouquet garni here with some aromatics, some herbs, some more of the long leaf cilantro, uh, the leek, some celery stems, and some wild cilantro. And I'm just gonna drop that in there and just let it simmer away. And it's gonna give the stew so much flavor. I'm gonna just drop that in there and then cover it and, and let it simmer away. And we back. All right, so now that I got my chicken stew simmering on the stove, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the fillings for the empanadas. So I'm gonna go with the beef first. I'm just gonna cube this up real small. It's small little cubes to get this ready to saute on the stove. So I cut enough vegetables for the chicken stew and the filling for the empanadas, so we don't gotta cut nothing else up except for our proteins, and then we'll get that started on the stove. So I'm just cubing this up real small, nothing crazy. I just want to cut it up into a decent size that it'll be enough to fill for the empanadas. And again, like I said, the empanadas, they made from green plantains. We're not using any flour, no eggs, nothing in the filling. So. And we got a nice cut of beef right here too, man. This top sirloin cap is crazy, like. And we're back. All right, y'all. So I'm just giving this a little check. It's going good. It smells real good. It smells amazing. I'm gonna get started on the fillings for my empanadas. Get that started on the stove. Let me cut this. We just want this to go low and slow so that meat can be nice and tender. So I have a cast iron pan here and a pot in the back. I'm gonna do the steak in the front, and I'm gonna do the shrimp in the back. So let me get my heat on. Get my heat going. I'm gonna just drop some annatto seed oil in there for color. And like I said, everything we're using here is all natural ingredients. Everything is fresh. We're using, annatto seed oil for color. We're not using Sazone packets that has like Red 40 and MSG in it. That's bad for you, I mean, even though I've been eating Sazone all my life, and ain't nothing wrong with me, but that's what they say, that it's not healthy for you. But I want all natural, from the cuts of meat. We got it from the butcher shop. We got the chicken from the poultry, We went to the seafood market for the shrimp, We got fresh produce. Everything is, everything is fresh. Like, it don't get better than this. So I'm just gonna let my pans heat up. Then I'm gonna start sauteing my vegetables, and I'm gonna drop my meats in there. And this is gonna be the filling for the empanadas. So I'm gonna go on my onions in the front. I'm doing both at the same time, so. Onions here in the back. Some peppers. Some of the leek, the white onions. Drop that in there. Cilantro. Got some cilantro I cut up here. We're gonna drop that in there too. Dropping all that in there. Throw them flavors. So good. Tomatoes. Got some tomatoes here too. So. salt this a little bit. Just gonna salt it a little bit to help it sweat. So, a little pepper.
Is this one of the more complex meals you ever had to make, or?
Yeah, pretty much.
So you basically made 3 different meals.
Yeah, basically, yeah, 3 different meals. You got chicken stew. It's gonna get wrapped in the banana leaf with the rice, the peanut sauce, and the fried plantains. And here we're making the fillings for the empanadas.
Yeah.
Crazy. And we also got a nice cucumber lemonade that I'm gonna make to push all this down. You know, you can't have food and not have a bed.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Drop that in there. I'm gonna drop some of my garlic in there. Oh, garlic makes everything taste good, you know. Can't be without garlic. Drop that in there. Some of them, the blended up sofrito too. Okay. For nice flavor. Drop that in there too. Yeah, man. The smell of the garlic,
Yeah.
the cilantro, the oregano, you know,
Everything.
everything. The peppers. I'm gonna go ahead and drop my steak in here.
It's a magic moment, right?
I'm gonna drop the steak in here and get that going. Right there. Steak in there. I'm switching spoons, y'all. No contamination. Shrimp in the back. Switching spoons. You're not contaminating that. Turn it down in the back. So I got this beautiful shrimp stock that I told y'all I made from scratch.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Glad you got it.
Peanut butter burger. I'm gonna drop that in there. It's gonna give our shrimp crazy flavor right there. Let's stir the steak up right here. Look at that right there. Look at that. Look at that. Shrimp stock. We hit this. Shrimp is fast. Oh man, just look at that right there. Alright, we back, y'all. Alright, guys, so my shrimp is done for the empanada fillings. I got my beef in the back simmering. I just want to get that nice and tender. That's almost done. I'm going to get started on my rice for the tongas. So I previously washed my rice already, so I'm putting that in the pot. We're just making regular white rice. We're not doing nothing crazy. So I'm going to turn my flame on. I'm going to add my water. I'm using long grain, so you want to do the long grain rice. You want to do the 2-to-1 ratio. So I need some more water for that. You always want to salt your rice. There we go. want to add some oil too, so it comes out nice and fluffy and it doesn't stick. Like a drizzle, you don't need a lot. Just so your rice can come out nice and fluffy. Give that a stir, let it come to a boil. Let that come to a boil, we'll stir it, and then we'll move it, cover it, bring it down to a simmer, let it cook. All right, we'll be back. All right, y'all, our chicken stew, the hen stew is done. We got the rice going on the stove. That's simmering. I got my water going for the plantains. So I'm just peeling my plantains and I'm dropping them in the water. So plantains ain't too hard to peel. Just cut off the ends. You go right down the middle with a knife. You could even go with the knife a little bit like that. Just to take the skin off a little bit. And then with your fingers, you just want to go up and down till you get that first cap off. And then you just peel all around. It's not hard. Using your fingertip and your nails, you just want to go all around. If you're from the Caribbean, this is a piece of cake for you. Like, this is easy. Just go all around like that. I'm just going to peel these off. That's it. Easy as 1, 2, 3. There we go. Peel our plantains, and this is gonna be our dough for the empanadas. I got a little manado seed oil and salt in my water, so my plantains don't oxidize. We'll let those boil for like 20 minutes till they soft, so they get like sort of like a mango consistency. Then we're gonna take them out and mash them. And then we're gonna put them in the, actually we're not even gonna mash them, we're gonna put them right in the food processor and let them turn into a doughy consistency to make our empanadas. We'll be back. All right, we back, y'all. All right, so I got my plantains going. Those are boiling on the stove. We just waiting for those to get soft, so we could put them in the food processor to start making our empanadas. But in the meanwhile, I'm gonna make this delicious Ecuadorian hot sauce. So here we go. We got the wine tree tomatoes, and we boiled already, and they soft. So I'm dropping those in the blender. I'm dropping these in here. Should take that stem off. Okay, actually take the stem off. We're gonna pass this to a strainer, so it's okay if we blend it with the skin on, because the strainer helps get all them seeds out and stuff. So I'm gonna just go in with 1 pepper because these are really, really spicy. So. And if you don't want it too spicy, you can always take the seeds out. Look, I like the heat. It's hot sauce for a reason, so I'm gonna just go with 1 pepper. You can smell it. Like, I'm gonna just go with 1 pepper. All right. I'm gonna drop a little water in there so it can help blend everything up. So right there. I'm gonna blend all this up. Right there. Boom. As it's blending up, I'm gonna emulsify with some oil. Good. All right, that's good to go. I'm gonna pass it through my strainer. This is really easy to make. Like, you can just get these ingredients at Ecuadorian grocery store or food bazaar where they sell any international products, any country, and we could and you can make this at home. So I'm just gonna pass this through a strainer. Just gonna pass this through a strainer. You can put this on anything. You can put it in soup, anything, like anything.
And that's the real business. That's the hot.
Yeah, this is the real deal right here. So we've been,
So a second one of those would have been what, times 10?
yeah, it would have been crazy spicy. Like diced red onion in there. There we go. Give that a stir. In there.
Yeah, like two of those would have kind of.
Yeah, two of those definitely would have been too much. Like, wait till you put this over the food, man. Like, that's gonna be crazy. Man. All right, we back, y'all. All right, y'all. Y'all saw how easy that hot sauce was, right? That took me like 5 minutes to make. Like I said before, anybody can make it at home. So right now I'm gonna get started on the peanut sauce. So I got some annatto seed oil heating up in my pot. I'm gonna go in with the white onion with the leeks. I'm gonna let that saute. I'm gonna let that saute right there. You just get those nice and soft and translucent. I'm gonna turn the heat up a little bit. I'm gonna grab the peanut butter. I'm gonna drop that right in. I'm gonna go lower my heat. I'm gonna lower my heat down a little bit. I'm gonna lower my heat down a little bit. I'm gonna drop that peanut in there. This is just regular, like unsalted, all natural peanut paste. There's nothing in. There's no sugar, no dairy, nothing. Like
Raw.
just raw peanut paste. Drop that in there. Just gonna mix that in there. Let it get incorporated with the scallion. Just like, yeah, we just let that cook down a little bit. You just want to stir it. So here's the trick. We took some of the juice from the stewed chicken, and we're gonna add it to the peanut.
You about to do that now?
I'm gonna do that now.
Cool. One dish enhancing another.
That's it. It's all about building flavors. We're gonna go ahead and drop that in there right there. And then I'm gonna add a little water to it. Oh, that smells so good, man. I'm gonna just get some more. I'm just grab some water and drop in there. Here we go. Yeah, we just check for salt. We didn't need any seasoning or anything. That's a good amount of water right there. We don't need no more than that. We just go a little high on my heat so it starts boiling. Once I bring it to a boil, I'm gonna bring it down to a simmer.
Okay.
You just wanna stir it. And it's gonna have a nice flavor because we added some of that sauce from the
Yes,
stewed chicken. So still got little chunks in there. Alright guys, so my peanut sauce is done. Like y'all saw, that was easy. That took me like 5 minutes. My plantains are soft. I'm gonna start pureeing them in the food processor to get our dough for the empanadas. So we just want to let this knead till it get into a doughy consistency. The more we let it knead, the easier it'll be to roll it out without it breaking on us. So if you see it right now, it's almost like a puree, like almost like mango or fufu. So I'm just letting this rock. All I did was add a little bit of salt to the plantains while they puree, so the dough can have a little flavor. We don't want too much salt because the filling already has flavor, so we don't want our empanadas to be salty. We're back, y'all. We're making our shrimp empanadas. So we kneaded our dough in the food processor. Well, not our dough, but our plantains. We got it into a doughy consistency. Remember, the more you knead it in the food processor, it almost gets almost like elastic. So when you roll it, it's not gonna break on you. So I kneaded it for at least 5 minutes. Right now I'm just working it into a ball. Remember, the more you work it, the stretchier it gets, almost like elastic. So I'm going right here. I'm using a Ziploc bag. You could cut it in half just to open it. I'm going right in the middle. You wanna add non-stick spray to it or some oil. You want to oil up your hands. Just press down on it and just roll it out with a rolling pin. Preferably plastic so it doesn't stick. So we rolled it out into a disc, a nice flat disc. You see how the dough's not breaking on us? Because we needed it long enough to get elastic, so it's not breaking on us. There we go, see that? And remember, we're gonna fold this and then shape it. So whatever leftover dough you have, you take it off and you set it aside and add it to the new one. Alright, so I'm going in with my shrimp filling right here that we made earlier. You don't want to add too much, remember, because you want to be able to close your empanadas and be able to fold them, so you want to have enough room. So about right there is good, it's perfect. So now I'm going to fold over. Right, I'm folding over like that. Then I'm sealing them. I'm going to seal them tight, close them tight right there. And then with your plate, you go upside down like this, and you form it. Press down hard, and you open up. And here we have our empanada, look. Here's our empanada. We'll be back, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and fry up one of these empanadas, just so y'all can see. You wanna make sure your oil is real hot. So since this is like a plantain, it's gonna get real crispy. So it's gonna be almost like a fried plantain. You just wanna get them golden brown and crispy and then they're done. All right, we're back, y'all. So I'm frying up the rest of our empanadas. So I made shrimp empanadas and beef empanadas. So right now I'm frying up the beef ones and then I'm going with the shrimp. All right, we're back, y'all. All right, so we finished doing our empanadas. So now I'm gonna show you guys how we build the tonga. So we take about 3 leaves of the banana leaves. You wanna make sure they all facing the same way, because if you got one going horizontal and the other one going vertical, you might have a chance of when you fold it, it'll break on you. So you wanna make sure they all facing the same way. All right. So first we laid on our rice. You want to use a bowl or a plate under you, so you can have, so you keep everything in one part. So I'm going with the rice. Now I'm laying down the pieces of chicken. Alright. So you want this to be like wet, moist. So we pour the juice on top. Because you want all those flavors in there too, So we pour the juice on top, like that. We lay our plantains on the side. Like that. This is how it should look. Right. Then we pour the peanut sauce over the top. That's it, peanut sauce. We garnish with cilantro. And then we fold it. So this is how I usually do it. I go on like this, one side over. The other side over like this. Just want to do this with patience. Then we fold the ends in. You want to wrap it tight. So it don't gotta be perfect, because we tying this up. So almost like if you're doing like a pastel or a tamale, So you just want like that. Wrap it tight. And I got some twine here that we're gonna tie it with. So we go around like that. Flip it around. Go under. Tight. Go around like this. Like in the middle. Flip it around. And we tie into a knot. Tie it nice and tight. So remember, before Tupperware ever existed, this is how people would take their lunch when they would go to work. So, there we go, we got it tied. Now we just gonna let these steam in the oven for like 20 minutes to let that flavor from the banana leaf infuse into the food and give it a nice flavor. So you could just lay them on a rack. That's it. You let them go for 20 minutes. I'll be back, y'all.
Listen, this was a long shoot today. But Chef Larry did his thing. He actually cooked 3 meals in one segment, so it took a minute, but it was worth the wait. The whole place is smelling incredible. The whole place was smelling amazing. Chef Larry, I want to thank you, man. You rocked out, man. That was like one thing. You don't realize how long this took, but the meals he made was just major meals. Chef Larry, let me have it. Okay. Now, what do we have here?
All right, so here we got the tonga margarita.
Okay.
Which is the stewed chicken, the hen.
Got you. Okay.
Over the rice with the peanut sauce.
Yeah,
the sweet plantains. I've been a little avocado garnish on the top.
That is good. Wow. Oh shit, this is good. That's first. This is good, man.
You should try and put a little bit of the hot sauce on it.
Now, Chef Larry was giving us samples of like different stuff, so we can try because it was such a long shoot. The hot sauce is all of that. So he's gonna explain what's in the hot sauce. It'll be in the description and everything, but No, that's everything. That is everything. Mm.
That crunch on them empanadas.
No. I already told Chef Larry that I'm not going to eat the whole meal on camera. I'm going to take this home and eat. 'Cause I want to be in front of the TV because I want to enjoy this. But I have some questions for you.
Yes.
This is the second time you're on the show.
Yeah, second time.
You rocked out, and it was funny. We've been busting each other's chops, but I really didn't think you can really outdo what you did the first time around. I mean, he put his heart and soul.
Yes.
People, this was like an 8-hour
my
segment. We rocked out, and so he really did his thing.
Yeah, we did.
Talk about what motivated you to make the Ecuadorian meal. I never had. You just did so many things so perfect.
I just thought it'd be something different, and it would open up people's eyes to different cuisine, something they never had before. And I want to do something different and on camera, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Just to open up people's
take
palates.
a little more.
Open up people's palates to something different, you know.
Yeah,
Try something new.
you had so many flavors going on in this place. The aroma was, you had the peanut, you had the garlic, you had this, you had that. It was such an amazing journey.
And then we made this.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Now, before I drink, what is this again? I got the.
This is cucumber lemonade I made from scratch.
Oh, that is good. He had so many stuff on camera that we didn't get him making this, but I did hear the blender going. What motivates you to cook? I mean, I noticed in this segment, the longer you went, the more joy you had. Like, at no point was he like, I'm tired, or, I mean, his main concern was like, I gotta feed everybody here, and they've been waiting long enough. But outside of that, it's like you was really loving the energy.
It's my passion. It's
Yeah,
what I love to do. It's what I live for.
It played out in the show. Like you would throw us a little something, and everybody was like, "Ooh, yo," and that just somehow like it's kind of energized you.
Yeah,
I asked you this before. You know, it's been like it was like almost a year.
Yeah, whole year.
Yeah, you know, and it's funny because what was going on? The last time we was on, the Pacers eliminated the Knicks.
The Knicks, yeah.
We're in Game 3 tonight.
Game 3 tonight.
And but they're not gonna get eliminated tonight. But
Nah,
let's hope
we
they.
We gonna win. We gonna win
We
tonight.
gonna win tonight.
Yeah.
But what else? What other meals can you cook that people be like, yeah, we need to have that?
Anything, man. I put my heart into everything. You know? Like,
It is.
everything I do, I do it with love.
You are like an artist with a paintbrush with this. I mean, everything had to be a certain way, and so it was an amazing journey with this meal. I'm not gonna gulp into it because I want to take it home because it is a little late, but everything tastes so freaking fantastic,
Thank
man.
you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Like, how is that? Do you study these recipes? Is it trial and error? Is it like?
I just cook from the heart. That's it.
Okay.
I do everything by feel, like
Okay.
emotion.
Now you know this is hard to cook.
It is. It's hard to cook, but you know, like my thing is like I like making people happy through my food, man. It makes me happy to see other people happy when they enjoy what I make. So it's like I do it with love. It's my passion. I love to cook.
I asked you this before, I'm gonna ask you again. What's the one thing, especially since it's been a year, that you kind of struggle with? Like tonight, I learned how to make rice through you.
Yeah.
I don't know how to make rice, and I watched you do it. You gave me some tips with the, circling it around and making it go
moving
backwards.
the dome. Yeah, yep.
And so, is there anything you feel like you still kind of struggle with?
Not really, no.
That's people. That's confidence. That's there's only one Chef Larry. That's confidence. But listen, I'm not gonna keep you because you haven't eaten.
Yeah.
He's been on his feet. Well, I was with him, so we was on our feet like, damn, 8 hours, right?
At least, yeah. 6,
But it was
7
such
hours.
an amazing journey.
Yeah.
I mean, when you said international, you took us around the world and back,
Yeah, man.
and
Little
this,
taste of South America, man.
I just want to have a little more.
Those empanadas.
One is beef and one is shrimp. Everything was seasoned down Ooh, that hot sauce cake.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Everything was seasoned down to the T. So the meat had its own seasoning. The shrimp, everything,
Chicken.
the chicken, everything was seasoned down. I mean, honestly, people, if I was to break this down, this is 3 sessions because he's really cooked 3 different meals here. But listen, I'm not gonna keep you because you gotta eat before you fall out.
Yeah.
My brother, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me
Listen,
again.
man, whenever
Pleasure.
you want to be on, it don't have to be a whole
Yeah.
year thing.
No.
You know, whenever you be like, yo, more, I want to be back on. This is your platform, your family to me.
Thank you.
You're one of the people who blessed my show.
I appreciate
You blessed
it.
it again. So whenever you're ready, let's rock and roll.
I appreciate it.
Listen, when she no longer wants to cook for you, Chef Larry Brooklyn showed us what to do. He came back and he did the freaking thing. This is 3 meals. This ain't easy, people. When you see this segment, as you already saw it, you're gonna realize, wow, he really did this thing. I'm really
patience,
impressed.
A lot of patience.
A lot of
A lot of
patience.
love. But
Yeah, and a lot of tape. And a lot of, cause he went through 3 tapes, but it was worth the wait. And people, we're out of here. Have a good night.